actually, unfortunately, if we are cardiac arresting or respiratory arresting and running a code on a patient, and if I am on the code card as my duty, I'm very strong with closing that feedback loop. One, at me reading back the orders and making sure, if I am going to, deliver a shock for a shockable rhythm, that is clear. I better hear that loud voice before I'm in charge of that. So I'm very firm on that feedback loop and closing it firmly and to the point.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of CRNA School Prep Academy podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Finnell, and today we're going to actually do a little something different. We're going to interview one of our students who was recently accepted into Cedar Crest College. Congratulations, Erika. So incredibly proud of you. And I had the opportunity to interview Erika at NTI, which is the National Teaching Institute, through the AACN. They will be going to Denver next year. I highly encourage you to attend this conference. It's a really, really great conference, and it's a great way to connect with the AANA, different institute programs, as well as CRNA School Prep Academy, because we will be there every year. We will have a booth. So that is what we were able to do this year. And we got to interview Erika, who graciously shared kind of open, candidly, some questions that I had for her. So let's go ahead and get into the first question that I asked Erika, which is that, what is it about becoming a CRNA that excites you most?
I am most excited for what I'm going to learn about myself as a professional, aside from the anesthesia, and I am excited to continue the variety of cases. Since I do come from such a large ICU, I'm looking forward to all aspects of the lifespan.
Okay, so Erika, in case of for those of you who had trouble hearing with the background noise, I do apologize. I know it was kind of loud. We tried to do our best with the recording, but she was the most excited about seeing the variety of types of cases and what she's going to learn about herself as a provider as she embarks on her CRNA journey. I think that's a great insight that she is sharing with you to kind of tuck away. I also think it's great that she recognizes that there is such a variety of types of cases you will do as an anesthesia provider. It drives me bonkers when I hear people say anesthesia is boring. I'm like, I think that comes from someone who doesn't even understand what a CRNA does and all the different types of cases that we can do. And one day where I used to work, I could do an OB case, I could do an open heart, and I could do a big vascular case, or I could be thrown into a PEDS case. So again, a lot of variety, different types of patient populations, which is really unique because typically when you come from an ICU background, say the medical ICU, you tend to see medical ICU patients only. You don't tend to get surgical ICU or cardiac ICU patients. Obviously, everyone has a heart. Everyone technically in my book's a cardiac patient, but you're not going to recover a fresh open heart in the medical ICU. So again, in anesthesia, you do get to see a variety of types of patients. Now, obviously, this depends if you put yourself in that work environment. If you go work an outpatient surgery center, you're probably going to be very limited on the types of cases you see. But if you go to a level 1 trauma hospital, you're going to see a wide variety of cases. So I always tell people, like, your career as a CRNA is what you make it. And you have to actively seek out opportunities for yourself to grow. If you don't get a lot of peripheral nerve blocks, well, find a place who will let you do nerve blocks. If you don't get a lot of PEDS patients, find a place that allow you to do PEDS. You have to actively seek these experiences out. They're not just going to fall into your lap. So again, I thought that was great that Erika recognized this. All right, let's get into question number 2, which is, what skill of an ICU nurse will transfer into the role of a CRNA?
I think one of my strong suits is actually, unfortunately, if we are cardiac arresting or respiratory arresting and running a code on a patient, and if I am on the code card as my duty, I'm very strong with closing that feedback loop. One, at me reading back the orders and making sure, if I am going to, deliver a shock for a shockable rhythm, that is clear. I better hear that loud voice before I'm in charge of that. So I'm very firm on that feedback loop and closing it firmly and to the point.
Okay, again, in case the audio was not ideal for your listening, Erika had pointed out how she wanted to close or create a closed feedback loop of communication, meaning that she is making sure that the communication is clear, concise, and that she herself has understood what the interpretation was by making sure she's repeating back and making sure that the person who she is giving communication to equally repeats it back. So there's no question of what was said and what's being done. I think that's great. And so again, if this is a question on your interview, this is a great way to answer it because it's incredibly important to have good communication in the OR. I mean, that's how mistakes happen. If they happen, it's from poor communication. This really goes for any type of medical environment, whether that's being a CRNA or an ICU nurse. Communication is huge. So I can't tell you how many times where a surgeon may muffle something up at me. They have a mask on. They're obviously watching their operation. And obviously you can't always expect them to take their eyes off of what they're doing, depending on what the case is going on. But you can say very clearly back, loud and clear what you think they said. And then that gives them an opportunity to correct you. It has saved me so many times. It could be for like how much heparin did they want, right? I mean, just rereading the dose or the communication back to make sure that there's no misunderstanding in communication. Because again, sometimes the OR environment can be loud. People are chitter chattering and there's a lot of background noise. And so when they're asking you to do something, if you don't hear it clearly, that's again how mistakes can happen. And it's again just from a miscommunication. So creating that open or that closed feedback loop is so vital to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So really, really great insight from Erika.
Well, hello, future CRNA. I wanted to share another daily dose of inspiration from a highlight from our community. This big shout out goes to Taylor. Congratulations on your CRNA acceptance. Thank you so very much for sharing your story. I was accepted into program. Again, I don't disclose that. I wanted to thank the Academy for all the resources in this community for the support and advice. They specifically asked me about being a member of CRNA School Prep Academy in my interview and asked how I think it benefited me. This was my first year applying and I only applied to 2 schools. I got interviews at both. I believe this program really put me ahead of other candidates and showed my determination and growth. Thank you. Thank you, Taylor. I appreciate those sweet words and your testimonial as well as your story. It's so inspiring and I'm so incredibly grateful to have you be a part of our community. Cheers to your future. I'm rooting for you. Let's go ahead and get back into today's show.
The next question that we're going into is I asked, are you a CSPA member and what did you enjoy most about the Academy? All right, to Erika.
Yes, I am a member. I think I came to Jenny's booth last year at NTI in 2022, and I was right about to be in my interviewing phase. And your log questions, your emotional intelligence questions, all of the patho reboot in that was a huge help for me, just gaining that confidence. I mean, I took hours a day, just sitting aside, reading it, and just getting comfortable with the questions. So there's a ton of great resources online, and I took advantage of all of it.
All right, so there you heard it. Erika loved the interview prep. When she met us at NTI last year, she was just getting ready to enter the interview portion of her application, which is when she joined CSPA, and she dove all in and spent, she said, hours every single day going through the critical care learning library, all the mock interview replays, going to live events, getting really involved in the community, asking questions. And she felt that it really helped build her confidence. And so she really felt prepared walking into her interview. So if you're not a CSPA member yet, I highly encourage you to join. All right. So the next question and the last question that I asked Erika is, what type of ICU nurse are you? And what is your favorite aspect about your career? So let's go ahead and hear from Erika.
So I come from a large 32-bed all-in-one. I am a NICU, SICU, CT, ICU nurse. We do everything from balloon pumps, propellers, ECMOs, CRTs, swan dancer, our bread and butter, hypothermia, we do it all. I love being a jack of all trades. I love that variety, and I'm really hoping that'll translate well into CRNAs as well.
Okay, so there you have it. Another repeated theme of variety. That is what Erika is seeking out. So again, how that's going to translate into the role of a CRNA is a really great match. So she came from a very unique unit where she got to see surgical patients, medical patients, see the ICU patients, and she really kind of felt like a jack of all trades where she really got to do it all. And so advancing her degree to become a CRNA felt like she was going to take her career to the next level where she was also going to be able to see a wide variety of types of patients and populations and be able to take her skills to the next level. So I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week. And Erika, if you're listening, congratulations. I'm so incredibly proud of you. She starts her journey just in a few short months. So let's all give a round of applause for Erika and congratulate her on her future CRNA journey. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, future CRNA, as always, I appreciate you and your loyalty. Thank you so very much for tuning in this week. I'd love to hear from you, so screenshot this episode and share it to your IG stories with your biggest takeaway. Don't forget to tag me at CRNA School Prep Academy so I can personally thank you. Be sure to head over to CRNASchoolPrepAcademy.com to check out our blog and gather free resources to help you along your CRNA journey. Stay strong, and I'll see you next week.